What's up, guys? Out here right here today, we've got a feed delivery coming in, and I just figured that I would bring you guys along on this to just kind of see how we do it. So our supplier actually has two different trucks, and today they're coming out with the big truck here to auger feed in here to the bin. It's a little messy out here today. We had a bunch of rain come through, but we're going to try to make the best out of it here. So here we go. Yeah. Okay. That should be good. And there we are, guys. So got everything filled up, got the tarp put back on her. This isn't working too bad. We put that cattle fencing wire, or whatever you want to call it, over top and kind of made a little hoop with it like you would with a hoop barn, and then put a tarp with it. The only thing about it is it kind of catches on the edges, and there's a little hole in it and stuff like that where kind of each one meets. But other than that, I mean, it's holding up pretty good. Heck, I think we only give $1,500 for the whole thing, and it'll hold quite a bit of feed. So these things have actually worked out pretty good for me. So we'll see how it goes. We might move a little bit in the future to do something else, but for now, it's a pretty easy and quick way to get feed stored. All right, guys, so the farm store is not open just yet. We typically open from 1 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, and then we open up 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. there on Saturday. It's about 11 o'clock here right now in the morning. We're going to go ahead and get our stuff ready to go. We're going to go ahead and make these deliveries. While I'm in here, let me just show you guys around if you haven't already seen. This is just a pretty relatively small shed, pretty much. Finished completely off with lighting and all that good stuff. We've got our 3-door freezer here, which you know, holds most of our beef, some of our chicken cuts, and then a few of our shoulder roasts and stuff for pork. And then this guy here that has lights is also, this guy here is just a pork freezer here for us. And then over here is just a small refrigerator. And then this is overstock. Some, we put tails in here, we put you know, some of the beef fat we get sometimes, we put soup bones in here. This guy here isn't quite as inviting as these guys here are with the glass front, but it's a good spot for us in a tight area to go ahead and get some stuff in here. So, oh boy. So we've got our van ready to roll, warming up, cooling down, all that good stuff. So guys, here we are, yet another shed here, and we love sheds if you haven't figured that out yet. But listen, this is where I started. This is what I started with. These are two very large, just chest style freezers, and of course we had even another one here, and then the small one in the store is how we actually started this place. And then in 2010, I think, is when we actually opened up our first store when we were on a different farm there, and we used a couple of the ice, like the chest ice freezers with a glass top, and that worked pretty good, but they're just small. For us, we wanted something that we could store as much as we could with, and so it was just one of them things where these big freezers are like, I don't know, I think you're like 7 foot long. Just worked out really well. So it ends up being a little bit of storage for us. We do keep some of our boxes in here and all that good stuff, but for the most part here, we can keep, you know, some of our inventory back here so that we can stock up right here at the store. We try to separate this pork on one side as our pork freezer, and then this here being our beef freezer and stuff here. So these are really nice freezers. It does offer a lot of storage space for the most part. And then we also have our walk-in freezer, which is a lifesaver. We really like that thing up in our garage. So somebody's calling me. Let me see here. Spam, potential spam. That's what we have here for today. I think I get about 30 of these calls, I feel like, every day. They want to call me while I'm filming. I just don't understand it. So anyway, guys, let's get some boxes together. Let's get them loaded up and let's get out of here. Freezer van here, and we're going to start heading out. We're going to get going. We got to go down to Hebron first, and then back up to Dover. So we're going to go ahead and start making these trips here. Boy, it's a really rainy day. Good day to be out on the road, I guess, making deliveries and getting out from the farm where we can't do a whole lot, but I guess it's better than nothing. This is something I don't really get to do a whole lot with you guys, is just kind of get out of here and show what we're doing on the market side of things. And I do want to start including that just a little bit more to really give you guys a good look as to, you know, what we're doing and how we're doing it, the whole direct marketing thing that we have going on. You know, it's a pretty big deal, and I think we're seeing more of it, which is pretty cool. You know, the more of these little guys like us get into this type of thing, selling direct to consumers and stuff straight off the farm, which in my opinion is how it should be anyway. You know, the more availability that there is, the more secure our food source is going to be here in the United States. That goes state to state. You know, no matter where you're at, it's definitely something that helps go ahead and secure your food. So I think it's a really good thing. There's always been a lot, at least in our area, there's always been a lot of like produce stands, people selling produce during the times, you know, that it's popular and all that good stuff, but not so many that have been actually selling meat, you know, from livestock that you're raising here on the farm and stuff like that. Usually just typically goes into the commercial market, whether you're a cow-calf operation or you're a stocker operation, you know, whatever you got going on. Typically, you're selling into the commercial market somehow or another. So, you know, obviously we've been a part of that difference there for quite some time now. Like I say, when we first bought our little homestead back in 2008, you know, that was kind of the start of everything, and that was just us, you know, really wanting to provide for our family, and me really for the love of actually farming, you know, doing it as a hobby, I guess as a basket case as I was, you know, constantly spending money. And a lot of times, you know, with hobbies, especially in farming, it's easy to spend more money than you make, but you know, it is one of the things that I enjoyed a whole lot of. So anyway, you know, take it back, we went ahead and we got started. Back then we started building up, moved in December. I believe we bought and moved in December of 2008. And so that was kind of the start. As spring came on, I was in a hurry. You know, fortunately enough for us, we didn't buy a very big spot. It's just that we bought a spot that I now appreciate so much, I will tell you. Just for the simple fact that we'd only bought 2 acres. But what we bought was basically a chunk of an existing farm that was much bigger, consolidated down where they had sold off a lot of their acreage and stuff. And actually the neighbors had built a house back on some acreage that they kept. So we ended up with the original farmhouse that was there, which was huge, by the way. I think that home was like just under 3,000 square feet, just under it, and that was not including the basement on one side. So a lot of space there for us. The thing that I appreciate now so much is that even though we were 2 acres, it was the 2 acres of all of the barns and everything that went into it. Before actually getting into this YouTube channel that we've been making here now, I had actually done, I think back in 2009, I had posted a homesteading video, just kind of my progression as to what we were doing. And, you know, and it showed everything, all of the buildings. There was fencing that was already done for the animals that we had there. Even though we added to the fencing, the perimeter fence and stuff was all intact. You know, gates and stuff like that we did have to purchase, but hey, other than that, you know, we were gold. That thing had it had a lot of block buildings, had a small two-story milking parlor barn with a hayloft over top, which was really nice. Just the fact of having block buildings, honestly, at the time, was a pretty big deal. To build those nowadays, oh my goodness, man. I don't even know if I want to imagine. I mean, we spent $50,000 adding on to what we had on some of this was just lean-tos and things that were, you know, like structure that was actually there because of the expense of metal and wood and everything, you know, with where we're at. And I mean, I can't even imagine what it would take to build a block building like we have. So those type of things I do appreciate very much, you know, to what we had. So you never know what you have until you don't have it anymore, right? I guess that's the reality of it. You know, I thought I wanted all this new stuff, and you know, I wanted a new home, and we wanted to build some new barns, and you know, the other barns were kind of dusty and all that other good stuff. Now I'm like, boy, I wish I had that barn back, every bit of it, you know. So, but anyway, guys, again, I've got my GPS here in my ear. So anyway, but so yeah, guys, I mean, we started back then, honestly, and I think it's 2010, we had finally, right there at the end, actually had started to build our store. And so we kind of put together a little retail store at that time, doing the same thing we are now. But phew, boy, it was a big difference. Most people really didn't want to, and I say most people, we had a lot of the ethnic type groups of people outside of, you know, just regular Americans. And I don't mean any harm by saying that. A lot of the Hispanic groups would come to us, families and stuff like that. They just weren't scared. They were used to that type of stuff. You know, it was something normal to them. The everyday Joe, you know, it just, you know, they would buy eggs from us. We sold a mess load of eggs, but it's just, I think it was a very slow progression. People were not used to, which is sad, people were not used to going up to a farm and buying their meat. I mean, it's just, you know, the differences in time where even in Delaware here, we used to have, I listened to people that have been in, you know, around for a long time, and, you know, our old timers there and stuff, you know, would say there used to be little butcher shops all over the place. And now, today, there's only one that actually exists that's USDA facility, fully approved. There's only one exists in Delaware. Maryland, we're fortunate enough where we're at, we're really close to the Maryland line, and we're really close to another butcher, so it gives us two that are USDA certified. And then there are a few little guys that I think are state approved. I can't take any of my product there, have it slaughtered and inspected and all that good stuff, and then retail it. I can't do that. I could sell like a whole animal, half, quarters, all that kind of stuff if I sold it in whole to, you know, to a customer, and then they take it down and actually go ahead and have it all cut up. You know, we could do those type of things after it's killed, honestly, though. So, you know, it's just very limited as to what is actually available around here now. So, but yeah, that's where we stand, guys. I mean, we've really come a long way. Listen, guys, I've already talked too much. I do want to kind of listen to some music, get some jams on here. We've got about an hour more to roll on here. So listen, guys, if you haven't already, please follow the channel here, subscribe to the channel, like and comment on anything that you want to know a little bit more about there, guys. Until next time, we hope to see you again. Thanks, guys.